Welcome into the Big Time Boiler Show. This is your host, the Big Time Boiler, also known as Grant. Well, it's been a pretty good week of Purdue athletics, and oh man, we got some big time snow falling this fine Wednesday afternoon. Once again, the Big Time Boiler Show comes from the car. The quality of this show just keeps falling, and so does some of the view counts. But you know what? That's all right. That's all right. Again, it's a way to pass some time and to get some of my Purdue thoughts out there. If I have a few loyal fans, that's why I do it. So I really wanted to do a call-in show yesterday for after the game. I think I mentioned last podcast. When I travel for work, games are on the weekdays, like a game last night. It's the perfect opportunity for me. If I don't have a client dinner, to do a call-in show, or heck, even do a during the game call-in show. But I had a dinner last night, so I was unable to do that. But that's something going forward that I might try to do. So Purdue gets a nice little basketball win, 75-70 over Marquette. I was able to watch most of the game. Again, we'll kind of mainly stick to football on this show for right now. Although we'll start to gear up the basketball talk. I think growing up, my first love was basketball. I played basketball, but football was right there. It's quickly become neck and neck, or even, and honestly, I might enjoy watching football a little bit more. But I'm still a diehard basketball fan, so we're definitely going to have basketball coverage on this channel. I've said it on my Twitter, but this Purdue team is fun to watch. I think they're more enjoyable than last year. I don't remember who it was, but I heard somebody say, last year they just underperformed. It was just kind of frustrating, just how last year went. And it just seemed like something wasn't clicking. But this team is a team that is playing above their potential, or I don't know, above their potential, maybe above their expectation. And so that's kind of more of a fun Matt Painter team. So, and that's kind of what we're used to, honestly. I guess being the hunter instead of the hunted, maybe is a good way to put it. But with that, we'll dive back into football. Big win, and I said it last week, man. Just when you think Purdue is out under Jeff Brom, they're down and out. They had a bad loss. Just kind of when you're ready to give up hope on the season, they get you right back in it. They pull you right back in, and that's what they did again this weekend against Illinois. 31-24 win. A rough start to the game. Not 3 and outs. No, what am I even saying? Purdue's first 2 drives, pretty good. They got, I think, down to like the 26 and like the 25-yard line. Went for it on 4th down, didn't get it on the first possession. I believe Illinois then scored. I believe on their first possession. Yeah, they went through us like Swiss cheese. And then we obviously took it down again, but missed a field goal kind of into the win. So that was a little bit of a rough start. Not a little bit shaky in the confidence level, but they were able to turn around. Got the running game going with Maccabee, which we all said they needed to do. O'Connell, after a not so fantastic first quarter, really played better and spread the ball around, I think, which was important. Got Payne involved. Charlie was involved. TJ Sheffield was involved. And a few others here and there were involved as well. And just, again, overall, good team effort. Defense came to play. Game got really, really chippy. The refs did not do themselves any favors. They really screwed it up. They did not call a late hit out of bounds. When we were driving, I think Maccabee got gang tackled, which is fine. But he got gang tackled inbounds and then got driven back about 10 yards out of bounds. Maybe even like 15 yards total. And they got tackled right there on the Purdue bench with no whistle. Things then got really chippy. They were already pretty heated, but that was pretty much the boiling point. And then things got crazy. Both teams made some stupid penalties, and I think it hurt Illinois, though, more than hurt us. Although, once again, Purdue gets 2 15-yard field goal, or 2 15-yard penalties on a kickoff. This time, though, we weren't kicking. They were kicking, so that led to an onside kick on their part, and it could have been disastrous for us, but we recovered it. So, again, should be game. I think, honestly, this game kind of woke Purdue up. They're kind of, I don't know if Illinois was talking trash or what, but, you kind of think this Purdue team's a little undisciplined. But, if they play with this kind of fire, vigor, and, it cost us a penalty here and there, so be it. As long as that penalty's not on third down, with a late hit out of balance like we saw against Syracuse or something like that, where, they get a first down out of it. I'm okay with that every once in a while if it keeps this defense engaged and amped up. But, great win. And now Big Ten West, man, we're right there for it once again with by far the easiest schedule in the race. Not in the driver's seat, though. Assuming that Michigan beats Illinois, which, you never know, probably will happen. Greater than 90% chance Michigan wins. That pretty much puts Illinois out. So it basically will lead to Purdue, assuming they beat Northwestern, and then Iowa and Minnesota. Now, Iowa can, outside of Illinois, beating Michigan, Iowa controls their own destiny. However, they have to play at Minnesota, which will be a tough game. It's going to be a very, very cold game. PJ Fleck's not beaten Ferentz apparently yet. They're going to be fired up for that. Minnesota's won 3 in a row. So has Iowa. Two very similar teams. I think, though, Minnesota's got the better offense. Iowa's probably got the better defense, but Minnesota's got a pretty good D. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be not a barn burner, but it's going to be probably a one-score game, probably back and forth. Maybe not so much scoring back and forth, punting back and forth. And it's just going to be an old-fashioned nail-biter, Big Ten classic in the winter showdown. Assuming we have to have Iowa lose that game. If Iowa wins, they play Black Friday at home against Nebraska, which Nebraska. I'd be more comfortable if that game was on the road, but you never know with Nebraska. They might be able to show up and get a victory there. But best bet is for Minnesota to beat Iowa. I think after some debate between fans and friends, during the Wisconsin-Iowa game last week, wasn't exactly sure at first who we wanted to win as a Purdue fan after we beat Illinois, but I think most of us came to the conclusion that Iowa needed to win that game because Wisconsin, it's kind of funny, they both play the same teams. The last 2 games on their schedule were both the same as far as the teams are concerned. Wisconsin, though, would go to Nebraska this week, which could be a sneaky game, could be. And then they play home to Minnesota, which could be a tough game as well. So out of those two, who's got the tougher game or schedule? You'd probably say Iowa, just considering the fact they got to play at Minnesota. And again, Iowa has been pretty up and down all year on offense. Well, not pretty much up and down. They've been abysmal. Against that Purdue game, though, with the weather, it actually played in their favor, shockingly. And, their defense has been top-notch, special teams top-notch. They got 2 out of the 3 for a winning formula. And as long as the offense is somewhat average, even slightly below average, they're dangerous. I think the biggest key with them, though, is don't get down early to Iowa. You got to score first. You got to get a lead against those guys. So, Big Ten West, again, still on the table. It's exciting. Some people have mentioned, I'd rather have Purdue win out, go 8-4, but have Iowa win out too. So Iowa goes to the championship game and gets embarrassed by either Iowa or Michigan. Gets embarrassed by either Ohio State or Michigan, who actually Iowa's already played both teams. I don't really buy that. I think Purdue going to the championship game would be awesome. I think it's something that probably won't happen for a number of years after this year. You never know, but just, the way college football is going and everything, if it was a bet, I put most of my money on the fact that they won't go to the championship game in the next 5 years. I think it's probably a pretty good bet, but who knows? Things might change. But And then also, I heard people mention, who do we want to play? Ohio State or Michigan? Well, in my eyes, I think without question it's Michigan. I think Michigan's more of a running team. That's more our strength. Ohio State we do not match up well against at all when it comes to the secondary issues. Not that we match up great with Michigan. I think we match up better. Plus, a team like Maryland, they gave Michigan the game. Michigan's not really blowing people out. They're not putting up the numbers. In fact, again, I'm not looking at the schedule, but just going off memory, shooting from the hip here, I feel like Michigan's winning most of their games. I wonder if they have a better defense than Ohio State, which they probably do. But they're winning their games like in the 30s to, single digits to low, 10, 13, whatever. Something like that. At least that's what I feel like I'm seeing here with them. So I feel like it'd be more of a game against Michigan. But we'll find out. And you never know. Plus, I think there's two weeks. I want to say, is that right? 2 weeks of a break between the games. So that allows maybe Purdue to get a little more healthy and maybe have a better shot. But I haven't. I've gone this whole time 11 minutes, and I'm not even talked about. I think maybe I mentioned them one time here in passing, but we got a game against Northwestern this weekend. A team that's won one game this year, and that game was not even in the United States. That was in Ireland. A game, honestly, they should have lost. I thought Nebraska looked actually serviceable in that game, but they pulled it out and won. There's a bad call in that game. They said it was a fumble on Nebraska, which was not. That obviously helped Nebraska or Northwestern. Northwestern's got all kinds of issues. Obviously, they've only won one game this year. But this is Purdue football. Nothing's a gimme. Granted, can Purdue win by 3 touchdowns? Yeah. Will they? I don't know. You never know this Purdue team. Plus, Nebraska. I keep saying Nebraska. Northwestern is probably hungry for a win. I think they probably pat say, hey, this Purdue team's inconsistent. We can get one here. They're going to be fired up. Wouldn't be surprised to see a close game at the start and then Purdue pull away. And it sounds like also Northwestern's got some serious quarterback health issues. They're down to their third guy, I think, and fourth. So we'll see. Purdue hopefully has learned their lesson outside of this Illinois game, and I think the Illinois game will go up a little bit. They know they need to win these last two games. Hopefully, they handle their business. They come in prepared, and they take care of it. So I suspect they'll win this game, and IU is kind of I made a bet on IU on I think the under 4 win total, and I got a little nervous because I think did IU go 3-0? I believe they did. I think IU went 3-0, and they've lost every game since. So this is another team that's in a complete tailspin, quarterback issues, pretty much playing for next year, especially this day and age. This day and age, the transfer portal guys, whatever side of the fence you're on this topic, NIL and all that stuff, this is definitely an age where the athlete comes first, which, is not always a bad thing, but it also can be a bad thing for, selfish reasons and just issues down the line. And it's a me first kind of philosophy for these athletes, I think. And for a sinking ship, maybe not so much Northwestern, because I think it's a different type of program, different kind of school, but a team like IU, a sinking ship, if you will, where you've lost 6 games in a row, soon to be 7. I don't know who they play this weekend. I think is it Penn State? I can't remember. I think maybe they played Penn State, but I think they play a pretty decent team this weekend. Maybe Maryland, but they'll probably lose again, and then 7. So that was 7 games losing. 7 games? That's not right. Yeah, they'll have an 8-game losing streak. Excuse me, an 8-game losing streak going into this Purdue game. They'll probably be fired up, especially if Iowa loses. Then and Purdue wins, they'll know that Purdue's got the basically the title in their hands. They beat IU, and I'm sure IU will want to play spoiler. I'm sure that'll motivate them. I also heard that IU is giving away free tickets to the game for students, so it could get interesting down there. You never know. So it's a rivalry game. I just don't think IU is very good. So, but again, you never know. Could be bad weather. I mean, who knows? It's snowing right now pretty terribly, and it's like 25 degrees. So you just don't know this time of the year, folks. You just don't know. But I've talked for about 15 minutes. Again, I promise, if you guys make it through this whole content, God bless you. Hopefully I don't ramble on too much. Again, I enjoy making these. Even in the last couple of videos, I'm only getting like 80 to 100 views. I don't really care. I'll try to get some more call-in stuff here coming up. Although honestly, it's probably not, that part might not really take off until, we might have it. We might during the holidays. Might be harder. The mid-December. At that time, I might have a few weeks off, but we'll see. So with that, again, appreciate you guys' support on this channel. If you're watching this and you have made it through this, please like and hit subscribe to the video. I greatly appreciate that. It is not so much for the fact of it does a whole lot for me, but I think it makes the video more visible. There could be Purdue fans on YouTube that don't necessarily know about this channel, and you liking and commenting and subscribing might in the YouTube algorithm might show them this video, and maybe they'll join the community. So when I say community, I mean the online Purdue community, whether that be sport community, whether that be On3 rivals, here, Boiler Sports, Boiler Breakdown, whatever. So as far as I'm concerned, it's one big Purdue football or basketball and football family, and we're kind of a rare breed. We're different, so no fair weather fans here. So with that, we're 17 minutes in. I'm going to sign off. God bless you guys. Have a great week. We'll talk to you here hopefully with an interesting video next week. I might do one Sunday night or Monday night next week with some, depending on how the Iowa game goes, with more of a call in, and we have more of an idea of what's going to happen. So with that, I will sign off for real this time. I think I've said that like 4 times, but signing off, Big Time Boiler. We'll see you.